All right. All right, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Christopher Matthew Nowak, file number 2022-20795H. This is the date and time scheduled for sentencing in this matter. I do have Erie O'Brien, Erie O'Brien Law Firm, and he is represented today by Robert D. Erie, IHRIE, P26451. Sir, this is the date and time set for sentencing. Mr. Erie, you received a copy of the pre-sentence report, is that correct?
Yes, I have received it, and I have gone over it with my client in detail.
Okay, excellent. So, Mr. Nowak, have you had an opportunity to read and review the pre-sentence report?
What was it again?
Have you had a chance to read and review the pre-sentence report with your attorney?
Yes.
Okay, and you've had an opportunity to discuss it with him as well, correct?
Yes.
Are you satisfied with Mr. Erie as your attorney and the advice that he's given you?
Yes, I am.
All right, Mr. Erie, do you wish to explain or challenge the accuracy or relevancy of any information in the pre-sentence report?
There are a couple of things on it that I would like to correct. In one of the, I can't recall the page, and I can't flip to it on the device I'm on right now, but it indicates that he drinks a pint of Jack Daniels every 2 days. What my client advises me is that when he was in his early 20s and mid 20s, that he did do that, but that's what he told the pre-sentence interviewer, that occurred, years ago, but that does not occur now. Now he drinks beer approximately 1 time a week, and when he does drink it, it's approximately 3 beers.
Okay. All right, so we will make note of that. Anything else?
Nothing else. Am I speaking to the judge? I'm not sure. I can't tell from the picture, the video.
You are. Yeah, I'm the one in the row.
Okay.
Might need to scroll. Okay.
Oh, here we go. Okay. All right. I was on. Good morning, Judge.
Good morning. Does the pre-sentence report disclose any prior convictions in which there exists any known constitutional defect? In this case, I have listed he has 1 prior misdemeanor. Do you find that to be correct?
That's correct, Your Honor. Disorderly person. Yes.
All right. The probation department calculated the minimum sentencing guidelines in this case to be 0 to 11 months. Do you agree with that computation of guidelines?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Before the court passes sentence, is there anything you'd like to say on behalf of your client?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you very much. As the court is aware, my client is presently 32 years old. He, as the court is aware, has that 1 misdemeanor violation from 2 or 3 years ago. We already corrected the alcohol issue with respect to the report. My client is full-time employed. He has been full-time employed for quite some time. He works for a local restaurant that I am actually personally familiar with called the Cruise Inn. He has been a cook there for 2 years, earns $13 or $14 per hour. I asked him what his plan was for 3 to 5 years down the road in his life. He said he would like to go back to school in programming. He does have training in HVAC work, but has been unable to secure a position in that particular line of work. So the report, when it discusses the pre-sentence report, when it discusses the either the agent's or the victim's version of the events, just a couple of things, Judge, and this comment is not meant to in any way be an excuse or show anything other than an interest in accuracy. The actual time that my client had relations with this young lady, she actually was 16. She had turned 16 on May 15th, and she indicated in her interview with the police officers that the unfortunate event took place in June, so a few weeks after she was 16. But it actually does make a difference in the eyes of the law from a technical viewpoint. But nevertheless, this event that occurred was an unfortunate event. I have permission from my client, Your Honor, to say what I'm about to say. And this too should not be interpreted as an excuse, but my client does have some issues that I think need to be addressed with some type of counseling, or even perhaps medical or psychiatric intervention. He is easily manipulable. And in fact, when this event was uncovered with my client going to the Warren Police Department and complaining about the fact that this young lady had borrowed his car and never returned. It was, through that rather naive, if you will, police report that this whole issue was uncovered. So I think that the recommendation is a wise recommendation, that there be counseling in the event that the probation officer feels that such would be helpful. My client has had a tether, Your Honor, for I think over 2 years at this point, with no violation. And that is not only caused some physical problems, but certainly financial problems. And as long as he is, if the court can look back and see that there have been no violations of any kind whatsoever, we would respectfully request two things in this recommendation, which may I say we agree with. We would ask, however, with two, excuse me, Judge, two minor changes to it. Number one, that the tether be removed. I don't think that was necessarily a recommendation, but we're asking that it be removed.
That was a bond condition. So
it was. And the other thing, Judge, because of the nature of the offense that he's pleading to, I know that there is a natural desire to eliminate his use of the internet, and that we have really no real objection to. However, we would ask that there be a carved out exception. My client is not all that socially active, and basically he would ask the court to allow him, even though he could not get on the internet, other than to get on like Netflix and other streaming services, to play games on the internet, and to do texting, which is communication with basically the main form of communication these days with young people. And of course, we have no objection to no other internet usage of any kind, but just those three things: the streaming service, games, and texting. And I'm not even sure, quite frankly, I'm going to show my ignorance here, I don't even think texting is the internet. I think it's just a way of communicating. So those things we would ask for, Your Honor. Other than that, my client is ready for sentencing. We do certainly accept the recommendation of the pre-sentence people, and we find that it is compliance with the nature and the conditions of it. I am in a different state than my client is right now, Judge, so I haven't talked too much this morning, but if the court asks him if he wishes to say something, I will certainly leave that up to him.
okay, so Mr. Jones, there's an internet agreement that would be signed by Mr. Nowak. Does that allow for texting and streaming devices?
Yeah, Judge, I mean, I didn't restrict the internet, or didn't ask to restrict the internet. But we have an internet agreement form that he just has to provide serial numbers for every piece of technology that he has in his residence that would be capable of hooking to the internet. He provides all that, knowing that we can come in and search at any time, put a flash drive in there and search the computer to make sure everything's good.
So there will be no restrictions, Mr. Erie, just that agreement.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, Mr. Nowak, anything you'd like to say on your own behalf?
Just, I'm really sorry just for everything that's happened I know I made a mistake, and I just been feeling really, really off just knowing what I did. And if I go back in time, I totally would and just eliminate everything that happened.
Yeah,
I would use my brain.
Mr. Nowak, you're 32 years old. I know I can tell the difference between a 16 or 15-year-old boy or girl. So I think you need to think real hard about what you were doing, because you're like a year or two shy of being a pedophile. Do you understand that?
Yes.
In determining the appropriate sentence in this case, Mr. Brooks, is it your trial next door? Don't you have a trial next door?
I didn't hear anything.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, you're here for Nagy Paul. I have you at 9:30 for Nagy Paul, but your 8 o'clock, I think, is at Judge Olsavers with Miss Iddings.
What 8 o'clock?
I don't know. I don't have you to 9:30, so you're an hour early, but don't you have a trial with Miss Iddings today?
At 1:30, Judge.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you're just here to hang out for an hour and a half? An
I
hour?
didn't mean to do that. No, by the way, can't open the door.
Because you don't have access to that hallway anymore. No attorneys do, but it's okay. I'll talk to you later. I'm gonna finish my sentences. All right,
Never knew we became the enemy.
no, you're not the enemy. All right, in determining the appropriate sentence in this case, the court has considered the seriousness of the offense, your history, the principle of proportionality, the statutory penalty, the cost of confinement, the sentencing guidelines, the report and recommendation of the probation department, as well as what has been said upon the record at this hearing. The criteria and reasons for the sentence are the nature and gravity of the offense, the discipline appropriate to its commission, deterrence against repetition by you and by others, the potential for reformation, vindication for the law, and the protection of society. It's going to be the sentence of the court that you will be placed on probation for a period of 24 months with the Michigan Department of Corrections. You will pay a $750 court cost, $130 crime victim rights fee, $68 in state costs, $60 DNA fee. There'll be a $30 per month supervision fee without a tether. But in the event they need to order one, it will be a $60 per month supervision fee. I am going to defer the 90-day jail term, and that would be deferred in the event that you violate your probation. You would serve that 90 days. You are to have no contact with the victim in this case with the initials AB, directly or indirectly, and you are to have no devices with internet capability without first signing an internet agreement with the Michigan Department of Corrections. I am not going to order that you can't use or possess alcohol, but if it becomes a problem, I can change those terms. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
You are to comply with all drug testing, and you're not to use any illegal controlled substances unless prescribed for you by a physician, and you must first notify the probation department of any prescription. I'm going to order a psychiatric evaluation, and that any counseling recommended be complied with. We'll submit to drug testing. You're not to use any object as a weapon. The probation department has the right to enter your residence at any time or your vehicle in search of person, vehicle, or home, and computers. Now, I understand you don't live in our county, so I'm sure you're going to try to transfer your probation, and there's a fee for transferring probation, but Mr. Jones will explain that to you. So,
Okay.
Sir, I have your address, and I'm not going to put your full address on the record. So I just want to verify, are you still on Weller?
Yes, I am.
Okay, you're going to receive in an envelope from the court 3 copies of your notice of right to appellate review. 1 copy will be highlighted, and I need you to initial it and date it. And then in that envelope will also be a self-addressed stamped envelope to me. I want you to initial it, date it, fold it up, put it in the envelope, put it in a mailbox, and send it back to me. Okay.
Okay.
That's your notice of right to appellate review. You're just initially undating the one to verify that you received it. The other 2 copies are for you. If you or your attorney want to appeal this sentence, you would fill out the information on the form and mail it to the address listed on the form within 42 days. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Jones, do you have any direction for Mr. Nowak?
He's gonna need to report to our office on Tuesday morning between 8 and 11. So I can get the transfer done. Just to correct something minor, Judge, since he lives within the state, there's no transfer fee. So he would just
okay.
be, I would just transfer it to his county.
Okay, very good. All right, so Mr. Nowak, you understand you need to come to the courthouse on the 3rd floor to probation between 8 and 11 next Tuesday morning.
Yes.
Check in at the probation officer and at the probation office, and Mr. Jones will meet with you that day. All right, Mr. Erie, anything further?
Nothing, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Brooks, do you want Latin back? Because we let you through here now. You go through here. My bailiff will allow attorneys back. Okay, all right, so you're all set, Mr. Nowak and Mr. Erie, you can disconnect.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
You're
Ralph.
welcome.
Oh, Your Honor, I'm good, right?
Yep, you're all good, you can go.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
All right, so I don't. I have lots of defendants. All right, Ms. Woodcock, can I ask what case you're here for?
Douglas Bice.
All right. So, ma'am, we are not ready for that case. Well, we might, we'll see. So, I am going to write your name down. And then when I call that case, which I have to tell you to be honest, are you planning to speak today as a victim?
Yes.
Okay, I'm pretty sure it's in bench warrant status, is it not?
Yes, he did not show up for his PSI interview.
He's not here today. So ma'am, I will let you know that, I think we were set for sentencing before, no?
We were, he didn't show up for his PSI.
So he is, probably not gonna go today because he's not here. So we'll probably end up issuing a bench warrant, but ma'am, you can hang out. I'm gonna put you in the waiting room and I'll check back with you to let you know if we're gonna proceed on it, all right? And we're also on YouTube if you wanna watch it that way, okay?
All right. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. I'm gonna put you in the waiting room. All right, Katie Burnett, can I ask what you are here for?
Yes, I was actually here for Douglas Bice as well.
So I'm gonna put your name down on my little list. And
Okay.
then we'll give it a while and for the attorney to get here. And if Mr. Bice doesn't appear, we'll issue a bench warrant, all right?
Thank you.
All right, I'm gonna put you in the waiting room. Miss Adams,
Yes.
was it today and tomorrow that the public defenders were out of town?
Yeah, we have Matt and Sam are the only ones, I think.
Are they down in front of Judge Olsaver?
I'm not sure.
Yes, they both are. I just saw them on Stephanie's computer.
So can I have one and then they have the other? I don't know. Okay. All right. Well, I can't really do anything without an attorney, so I'm gonna take a recess. Miss Adams, your co-host, so we'll keep an eye on it. I'm going this way. Jeff.
Oh, this way. Sorry.
What is it?
Oh,
What I missed, nothing?
No, we don't have any attorneys. I guess there's only two public defenders here.
Oh, okay.
Sam and Matt, they're both in All Savers Court, which doesn't make sense. There's two, but
Yeah.
hey, we're just here, man. Gonna work out today or?
Yeah. Are you?
Yeah, we'll see. If my workouts are nothing like yours. See what we got. 11:30. If we get out too late, I won't go. By the time I change, drive over there.
You gotta come back here.
I got a 2:30 hearing. So, yeah. Cut some to work all the time. It's just sometimes not worth it.
Mm-hmm. Do you go afterwards usually or no?
Yeah, sometimes. Or other times I'm just, when you get old, you just get beat. You just go home.
Where do you keep your uniform and all that stuff? You go at the sheriff's department, or keep it here?
No, I like this, the vest
Yeah.
and the shirt, I keep just in the back.
Okay.
And, you know, I bring the pants and stuff with me. So,
Your gun and stuff goes in the front, like the
yeah,
front.
chunk. So. Takes me a while to get out of the thing. Get rest, get the vest on, and hook up the radio, all that stuff. Takes a while. No.
Mm-hmm.
And then I probably shouldn't, I almost work out every day.
Mm-hmm.
Even on my off days, I gotta try to do stuff, might do some stuff at home.
Yeah.
A lot of stretching at home,
Mm-hmm.
but I at this age, 64, 64, it's like I need to be working out every day.
Mm-hmm. I assume that center will be open today.
This should be, they were open this morning when I came through,
Were
there's
they?
cars there all over the place.
So all schools got closed
Yeah,
today.
even the school closes, they should be open.
Mhm.
I mean, I came down. Still 20, when I go down Sandy Beach Road, they never plow that road.
Mhm.
That's probably the worst. I got 223. Yeah, about 45,
Mhm.
45, 50. It wasn't as clean as it usually was.
Mhm. Any cars in the ditch or?
No, there was no cars. Either way,
Mhm.
so. Did see a couple super trucks parked alongside. So
Yeah.
But what I'm being told, they're still working from the last storm.
Yeah.
Jesus, right? So. No, you just two of you in the office today or just?
Me, Sarah, and Jen. Couple go on vacation.
So Chris and Tom are working from home.
Mhm. They usually do. Tom was way out in Sand Creek.
Okay.
He's probably a half hour from here.
Mhm.
It's like, he's let's say, a couple miles from the highway. So he's like, coming the whole, I probably wouldn't either if I lived that far out.
The Mindy, yours is about 45.
It's about that, yeah, maybe not
Where are
quite.
you from?
Jackson,
Oh, okay.
and I live in further, again, like closer to here,
Oh, okay.
so uptown.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, it's like not, it goes far away. It's like high and west. Not far from Cooper.
Oh,
Jump
okay.
on there.
No, Sue, it's over an hour for her.
She's in the room. Yeah.
We got Matt Murphy in the waiting room.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Murphy, can you hear me?
Morning, yes, I can.
All right, so let me. Katie Burnett. Paul. Lewis. That is. All right. All right, Mr. Paul and Mr. Lewis. I
Yes.
let you in by mistake, so give me another minute. You're next, though. All right. All right. So, Corinne Campbell, can I ask what case you're here for, please?
Doug Bice.
Okay, very good. All right, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Douglas Henry Bice, file number 22-20979FH and 22-21175FH. This is a date time set for sentencing in this matter. I have Matthew Murphy appearing on behalf of Mr. Bice. And I also have Katie Burnett, Corinne Campbell.
Go on.
Ms. Burnett, what?
Yes.
Okay, and they are here to observe Mr. Murphy, Mr. Burnett, or Mr. Bice failed to appear for his PSI interview on January 9th of 2023 at 9 a.m. Attempts were made to contact him by the Michigan Department of Corrections, and he did not respond to any further phone calls or texts. Sentencing was originally set for February 23rd of 2023, which was the day we had that big power outage. And so it was adjourned to today. So I do have that from the Michigan Department of Corrections as well as victim impact statements, but Mr. Murphy, Mr. Bice has not appeared. Have you been able to have contact with Mr. Bice?
So first, I think that the court had ordered that he appear or he was going to appear in person. I forgot if it was ordered or if he requested. I had talked with him a few days before the 23rd about the fact that he had lost his phone and needed to get a new phone. I told him to go and contact the probation department because obviously he needed to get that done. I didn't know what would happen on the 23rd, but I just told him to appear and we'd figure it out. I haven't heard from him since then. So I can't give any more information than that. Obviously, like I said, I had contact with him, I think the 21st, February 21st. That was the last time though I've had contact with him.
Judge, he did call me the day before sentencing. We weren't able to get the PSI done.
Okay. Did you reschedule it?
I have not. I was just waiting for this date.
Have you heard from him again?
No.
All right.
And then he didn't show up today. I was
Yeah.
talking today.
Okay, so notice was mailed to him to appear today. He's failed to appear. I'm going to issue a bench warrant for his arrest for failure to appear. And I'm going to set bond on file number 22-20979FH at 25,000 cash as surety on each count for a total of $50,000 cash as surety. And then on file number 22-21175FH, there are two counts. I'll set bond at 25,000 cash as surety on that file for a total of 50,000 on that file for each count. So a total of 50,000. Mr. Murphy, if you are able to reach Mr. Bice, I would advise him to report to the courthouse. All right.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Murphy, on that file. And Ms. Campbell and Ms. Burnett, I am sorry, but stay in contact with the prosecutor's office to get information on any updated dates. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. All right, Mr. Murphy, let's see what else we got. Ms. Adams, if I could get Mr. Swartz from the jail, please.
Okay.
And let's see what she got. Okay, I can call Contreras. All right, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Angelica Maria Contreras, file number 22-21026FH. I have Matthew Murphy appearing on behalf of Ms. Contreras. This is the date and time set for sentencing in this matter. It was originally set for sentencing on February 24th of 2023. And the courthouse was actually closed because it was out of power. So a renotice was mailed to her to appear for today's sentencing. Ms. Contreras did fail to appear today, either in person or via Zoom. I do have a pre-sentence report that was prepared, but I do have a letter from Darren Coast, who is our pretrial services coordinator. She had a show cause scheduled for February 24th of 2023 as well as sentencing for missing drug screens. Our concern is that she is currently using methamphetamine and heroin and not testing as required. I will, on the contempt of court, issue a bench warrant for failure to appear. Set bond in the amount of 25,000 cash as surety. And I will issue a bench warrant for failure to appear for sentencing today and set bond in the amount of 50,000 cash as surety. Mr. Murphy, obviously, if you're able to reach Ms. Contreras, we can bring her in and get her sentencing taken care of, all right?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and yes.
So was that a total of 75,000 on that file?
Right, 50 on the underlying file and 25 on the contempt of court. All right, thank you. All right. So, waiting for your people from the jail and, oh, I got the jail. Mr. Myers.
Morning, Judge.
Good morning.
That was the scariest drive I've ever been on.
From the city?
I came from Monroe.
Oh, you're not. No. All right. Hi, who do I have at the jail, please?
Scott Swartz.
All right, and grab your file.
Your Honor, I'm gonna need a breakout session with him, please.
Not a problem. All right. This is in the matter of people of the state of Michigan versus Scott Richard Swartz. We have multiple files. I have file number 2022-21052FH. We'll note that file will be nully processed today. I also have file number 2022-21183FH, 2022-21185FH, and 2022-21186FH. Let me bring in the individuals who are here to make a statement. All right, Mr. Paul and Mr. Lewis, we are on the record with Mr. Swartz. His attorney has asked for a breakout room. So procedurally at this point, I'll give him a breakout room with his attorney, and I will afford both of you an opportunity to speak if you want once we start the sentencing. So, all right, so Mr. Murphy, I am going to assign you in the jail to a breakout room. Miss Adams, was Miss Madrid being brought over? You're here in Madrid, right?
That's right, Judge.
I said that she is. She's. 5, 2, 3.
So they did plead on the 5-2?
Yes.
All right. Morning, Mr. All right, so Mr. Myers, did you want Miss Madrid in person?
It doesn't matter.
All right, so Miss Adams, was Miss Madrid going to Zoom in then?
I didn't get a response, but I will call and double check.
All right, Mr. Malaro, I have, who you on today? Jacob Locke, I have Jacob Locke.
Yes,
Okay.
I have him as well, Judge.
We're on a roll. All right. All right, Mr. Luck, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Jacob Matthew Luck. This is a date and time set for sentencing in this matter. Mr. Malaro, did you receive a copy of the district court recommendation on this file?
I did.
All right. Now, Mr. Malaro, we had an opportunity to review that with Mr. Luck.
I have.
Oh, okay. And all right, so Mr. Luck, have you had an opportunity to read and review the pre-sentence report?
Yes, Your Honor.
Have you had an opportunity to discuss the pre-sentence report with Mr. Malaro?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with Mr. Malaro as your attorney and the advice that he has given you?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Malaro, do you wish to explain or challenge the accuracy or relevancy of any information in the pre-sentence report?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Before the court passes sentence, do you wish to say anything on his behalf?
Actually, Judge, there is a correction on the report. I think
Okay.
his address needs to be updated.
I don't want his address on the record.
I know, I'm not saying, I'm not going to say it, I'm just saying it needs to be updated, that's all.
Okay, so Mr. Luck, you're currently on probation with Ms. Tusky. Make sure that she has your correct address, all right?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm sure she does, but all right, very good. Thank you, Mr. Malaro.
Other than that, nothing further, nothing on the corrections of the report.
Okay, is there anything you'd like to say further on behalf of Mr. Luck?
Your Honor, talking to Mr. Luck, he indicates to me he's still in drug court. He's doing very well. He's appreciative of having the opportunity. The recommendation is for him to continue in the drug court. We'd ask the court to follow that recommendation.
Mr. Luck, anything you want to say on your own behalf?
Say that again, I'm sorry.
Is there anything you'd like to say on your own behalf?
No, Your Honor.
All right, so Mr. Luck, you're doing very well right now, and I'm glad to see that. So in determining the appropriate sentence in this case, the court has considered the seriousness of your offense, your history, the principle of proportionality, the statutory penalty, the cost of confinement, the sentencing guidelines, the report and recommendation of the probation department, as well as what has been said upon the record at this hearing. The criteria and reasons for the sentences or the sentence are the nature and gravity of the offense, the discipline appropriate to its commission, deterrence against repetition by you and by others, the potential for reformation, vindication for the law, and protection of society. It's a sentence of the court that you will pay a $300 fine, $50 in state costs, and a $75 crime victim rights fee. I'm not going to put you on district court probation because I've already got you on probation, Mr. Luck, but I do have to assess the fines and costs. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and then I'm going to order that you need to pay those, as you're paying off your fines and costs in circuit court. I'm not going to order the $750 in court costs or the $30 supervision fee because I'm not putting you on probation. All right, Jacob, you're
Yes, Your
doing
Honor.
really well right now, and I'm really proud of you for that, and I want you to keep up the good work. All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Now, Mr. Luck, we're going to mail to you 3 copies of your notice of right to appellate review. You're going to get that and a self-addressed stamped envelope back to me. I want you to sign 1 copy where it's highlighted or marked and put the date on it and mail that back to me in the envelope with the stamp in it, or bring it to me next Thursday when you come to drug court, whatever. And Then the other 2 copies are for you. If you wish to appeal your sentence, you would fill out the information on those forms and mail them to the address listed on the form within 42 days. All right?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Luck, I'll see you next Thursday, okay?
Yep, you have a good day.
You too, thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right, Mr. Murphy, I did misspeak. I didn't realize there were 2 PSIs, so I apologize for that. On the file number 22-21052FH, that is a nollie cross. That's actually, it was a separate PSI and I missed that. I apologize. Okay, so.
Your Honor, we
Mr.
received
Murphy-
both of those PSI just to clarify for the record.
Okay, thank you. All right, so Mr. Murphy, have you acknowledged receipt of the PSI? Have you had an opportunity to meet with your client now?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you for that breakout session.
All right, so Mr. Swartz, have you had an opportunity to read and review the pre-sentence report?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you had an opportunity now to discuss that with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with your attorney and the advice that he has given you?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Murphy, in the pre-sentences, is there any, do you wish to explain or challenge the accuracy or relevancy of any information in these pre-sentence reports?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Is this a double one? Let's see. All right. Does the pre-sentence report disclose any prior convictions in which there exists any known constitutional defect?
No, Your Honor.
All right, on all of these files, hold on a second. Hold on, I'm gonna search one first. Okay, so the probation department has computed the minimum sentencing guidelines to be 14 to 29 months on all of these counts. Do you agree with that computational guidelines?
I do, Your Honor.
All right, so at this time, Mr. Murphy, I'm going to ask Mr. Paul first. So David Paul, is there anything you'd like to say today before I pass sentence?
Hello, can you hear me okay?
Yep, I can hear you just fine.
Okay. Yeah, the whole incident really caused quite a bit of grief, especially for me because my wallet was stolen with all ID and everything else involved in it. And getting all of that replaced and still knowing that it's still out there drifting around somewhere because I haven't been able to get it all back yet. It's really caused an awful lot of grief and a lot of anxiety. And I guess I'll just leave it at that for now.
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Paul. Mr. Lewis, your name is Warren Lewis. Is there anything you'd like to say, sir?
Yeah, there is. It's just, this whole incident has just caused so much, like Dave said, so much grief and the disregard for personal property that this man has, using my truck to steal all kinds of other things that he, caused people all kinds of grief over the devastation of being in another country and having all this happen, and the months and months and months it's taken to get everything caught up. It's just been really hard on us.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Murphy, is there anything you'd like to say on behalf of your client, Mr. Swartz?
Yes, Your Honor. In regards to this matter, Mr. Swartz, quite frankly, as soon as I came into contact with regard to this case, he was wanting to take responsibility, get the case worked out. He understood that there are victims here. He understood his actions caused a lot of pain and suffering to those victims, and he wanted to try to make good as soon as he can start on the restitution he knows he was going to owe. As you can see, Your Honor, Mr. Swartz has some issues. Quite frankly, as he said in the PSI, in his statement, he fell back into a lifestyle with drugs and chaos. And quite frankly, obviously, that doesn't justify or excuse the impact on the victims, but it is unfortunately what fueled the behavior here. He does deeply regret what had happened. He thinks he's thankful that nothing worse was to happen in regards to any incident with any person. He does, again, as I was speaking with him the entire time, he wanted to take responsibility and move forward with the cases. So I'd ask the court to consider in this matter. I understand that the recommendation is for 2 years and 5 months to 5 years in incarceration. Considering that the guidelines allow for 14 on, I'd ask the court to consider sentencing towards the lower end of the guideline range here. Maybe something like 16 months incarceration or something like that, with probation moving forward, because quite frankly, I think that this matter, any further incarceration is purely going to serve, obviously it'll serve to punish Mr. Swartz, but it's not going to help Mr. Swartz get along with getting on his life to where he can pay back restitution and make whole as what he can in this matter. And so obviously I think that's what we want to do as soon as we can is to make restitution in this matter. So again, if Mr. Swartz long time of incarceration is going to preclude him from being able to do that. So I'd ask the court to consider the low end of the guideline range here. And just again, Mr. Swartz does, again, since from the very beginning of the case, he deeply regrets what had happened, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Swartz, anything you'd like to say on your own behalf?
Yes, I would like to apologize to the victims, Mr. Lewis and Mr. Paul. I wish we could see them in person and, man to man, and apologize to you both and everybody else involved in this situation. Words don't mean nothing to you guys, and I get that. And the only thing that means anything is actions, and changing as I go on. I would like to do, whatever punishment gets handed down to me. I deserve it, no matter what it is. And once again, I do apologize, and I will do everything I can to pay you guys back. And it was a very selfish and childish actions. I was not thinking of anybody else besides me and my ego and everything else. So I apologize.
All right. In determining the appropriate sentence in these cases, the court has considered the seriousness of the offense, or history, the principle of proportionality, the statutory penalty, the cost of confinement, the sentencing guidelines, the report and recommendation of the probation department, as well as what has been said upon the record at this hearing today. The criteria and reasons for the sentence are the nature and gravity of the offenses, the discipline appropriate to its commission, deterrence against repetition by you and by others, the potential for reformation, vindication for the law and the protection of society.
Your Honor, I'm sorry, I just want to make sure the record was clear. I think that the jail credit should be 192 days credit to this point.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So when I look at your record, you have well over 21 police contacts and charges, from misdemeanor traffic offenses, drunk driving, domestic violence, and starting in 2020, you started picking up some theft offenses, alcohol and drugs. So obviously you have a major issue from Michigan to Oklahoma, it looks like, but Lucas County. So your record definitely is showing that. Is that current warrant? Looks like you have a warrant out of Wayne County too. Your life is pretty much spiraling out of control. And you need something to help you wake up. So on file number 22-21052FH, it's sent to the court that you will serve 29 to 60 months with the Michigan Department of Corrections. We'll give you credit for time served of 192 days. We'll order restitution in the amount of $4,200, $130 crime victim rights fee, and $68 in state costs. On file number 2022-21183FH, sent to the court that you will serve 29 to 60 months with the Michigan Department of Corrections. I'll give you credit for 192 days served. There's $130 crime victim rights fee and $68 in state costs. On file number 2022-21185FH. It's a sentence of the court that you will serve 29 to 60 months with the Michigan Department of Corrections. We'll give you credit for 192 days served. I'll order restitution in the amount of $600, crime victim rights fee in the amount of $130 and $68 in state costs. On file number 2022-21186 FH. It's a sentence of the court that you will serve 29 to 60 months with the Michigan Department of Corrections with credit for time served for 192 days. Restitution will be in the amount of $350, $130 crime victim rights fee, and $68 in state costs. And I believe these are all concurrent, Mr. Moore.
Yes, all concurrent.
All
Your Honor.
right, so I'm gonna write that in. Mr. Swartz, this is time to evaluate. Your life's been spiraling out of control, so you need to figure out, take that time and engage in counseling classes through MDOC and figure out if you want to spend the rest of your life in prison or you want to make a turnaround.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
you do have the right to appeal this sentence. We're going to send over to the jail 3 copies on each file, so I apologize for that. But there will be 3 copies of your notice of appellate rights on each of the files. 1 copy you need to initial and date, just to acknowledge you received it. That'll come back and become a part of the file. The other copies are for you. If you wish to appeal your sentence, you would fill out the information on the form and mail it to the address listed on the form within 42 days. Do you have any questions, Mr. Swartz?
No, ma'am.
Right. Thank you all. Thank you, Mr. Paul. Thank you, Mr. Lewis.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Mr. Schwartz.
All right.
Thank you, Mr. Paul. Thank you, Mr. Lewis. You have good days.
Thank you. And Miss Adams, you could let them know we'll take Miss Madrid, however we can get her.
Judge, she still wants to be in person, so they're working on it.
Awesome.
All right, thank you. Have a good day.
Good weather this morning. All right. I have Emily Smith, Mr. Murphy.
Judge, do you mind if I run to the bathroom?
Oh, yeah, take it. Go.
Thank you.
It might be a while. We have coffee. Do you want coffee?
Oh,
My bailiff will send you back to the jury room.
oh, for real? Thank you. But I can make some.
Well, you can't leave the courtroom, but
No pressure. Thank
no,
you.
there's a bathroom and a jury room if you want to go hang out.
Thank you.
We just, yeah.
That's
Okay.
very kind.
All right, Miss Smith, can you hear me?
Which way is it? To the right here. Bathrooms there.
All right, Miss Smith, can you say your name? So we do not have very good audio on you, so it could be a number of things. Can you scoot closer to the microphone?
Sound a little better?
Perfect. Okay, so this is, let's see something real quick. Hold on.